This is how running will change your life. This is how it's changed my life. Hi, I'm Annie, and I'm a miserable cow. These are my adventures in transcending bullshit. Today I have an itemized list for you of all the ways that running has changed my life and all the wonderful things that it can do for you. But first, I have a couple of crucial points for you. So before you get bored and click away, just hear me out. This is important. Many people think that running is too hard. They firmly believe that they don't have enough time and it's too uncomfortable and they just can't do it. But here's the truth. It is literally easier to be fit and healthy than to not be. Just think about it. Is it easier if your pants fit or if you feel uncomfortable in your clothes? Is it easier if you get sick all the time and have to take days off of work or if you hardly ever get sick? Is it easier if you feel strong and confident and comfortable in your body or if you feel kind of insecure? Is it easier to be stiff and achy and have a lack of mobility in your body? Or is it easier to have freedom of movement? When you exercise consistently, everything gets better. Your entire life gets better. You feel better, you're more efficient, you're more effective, you actually get more shit done. Even though you're spending time exercising, you get more shit done in your life. I promise. You have to give this a try. And by the way, before I forget, if you like this video, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe, leave a comment. Let's get to know each other. So, crucial point number 2. If you decide that you want to take up running, please take it easy. Here's something that I see on January 1st pretty much every year. I see people with good intentions who maybe aren't very fit and they really want to crush it. So they're out there on January 1 crushing it, but really they're just grinding themselves into the ground because they're going out too hard on the first day. Do you think that those people are still going to be running on January 21st? Probably not. They're going to go out too hard on the first day and they're going to get injured. Or they're going to feel like it's just way too hard. They're going to think, man, that was so hard, I'm never doing that again. Or they're going to be so sore that they'll need 10 days to recover, and so they can't develop the routine of consistency. The whole point is consistency. An individual run or exercise session doesn't really matter in the bigger picture. The bigger picture is about consistency and developing lifelong habits. And specifically with running, don't try to be fast. Not in the beginning. There's a lot of great beginner running programs online, like apps you can use on your phone. Couch to 5K is one example. And in those programs, you run for an interval and then you walk for an interval. The app tells you what to do in your headphones. And then over time, the interval gets shorter, and pretty soon, in about a month, you'll be able to run 30 minutes continuously. So if you're running and you're thinking like, man, this fucking sucks, slow down. Just run slower. It has to be comfortable, okay? So slow down until you're comfortable. It's all relative. It's about you challenging yourself. You don't need to run as fast as someone else. I'm somewhere in the middle. I'm not fast and I'm not slow. I'm Annie. I run Annie speed and that's perfect. And if running really doesn't work for you, just pick something else. The point is consistency. Choose an activity. Swimming, dancing, tennis, whatever. Just pick something and practice being consistent and give it a good long go. Do it for 6 months. Do it for a year. And then tell me how you really feel about it. I think you'll like it. So here's how running has changed my life. It's made me less of a miserable cow. Can you believe it? Also, my pants fit. Running has helped me with anxiety, aggression, and depression. Here's an unexpected one. I have increased problem-solving ability and focus. Running has also improved my relationship with food. And did I mention that my pants fit? It's also improved my relationship with my dog. He used to think I was pretty cool, but now he thinks I'm a goddess. I started running kind of late to the game. I was actually 37 years old when I began. I decided that I wanted to exercise consistently. I chose running, but I told myself if running doesn't work out, I'll just pick something else. My main goal was to be consistent. And as it turns out, I like running. And over time, I've also incorporated strength training and stretching into my daily activities. Since then, I've done some group training, training socially with other people. That was a really valuable experience. If you're a social person, that's something that might really work for you. You might really enjoy running in a group with other people. So check out your area for local running clubs or a local running store that might host group activities. And if you're not a social person, like me, not a social person, sometimes it's good to exercise your opposite tendency. I know that I'm not social, and I'm totally cool with it. But a little bit every once in a while, I try to exercise my opposite tendency and socialize with people because I know it's good for me. Some of us were training for the marathon, some for the half marathon. I ran in the Eugene half marathon and I got an amazing time. Again, it was amazing for me. I ran the half marathon at about an 8:40 pace, which is not slow. And it's also not super fast. But for me, it was better than I ever imagined that I could do. And on top of that, it was comfortable and fun. That was a comfortable race. Okay, so now to elaborate on some of those bullet points. The pants fitting thing is pretty obvious. When you start to exercise consistently, most people will lose weight. However, don't forget that diet is probably 80% or more of the equation. But here's the funny thing that happened to me when I started running. It totally changed my relationship with food. Somehow it changed my physiology. The mechanism in my brain that tells me when I'm full is more sensitive. I remember the first time I noticed this, and I had never noticed it before. Most of the time I eat more food than I need. But I was having Thai food with my partner, and I was eating pad Thai. This was years ago. I do this keto diet now, so I wouldn't be eating rice noodles now. But I was eating pad Thai, delicious. And normally, I would eat the whole thing. Whatever it is, I'd eat the whole thing. But I was eating this pad Thai, and I took a bite, and my brain said, that's the last bite. I don't want any more. I had never experienced that before. I call it the last bite phenomenon. It's something I'd never experienced before, and now I experience it all the time. I'm eating, it's delicious. And my brain tells me, whoa, no more. I just didn't have that before I was a runner. So I think that it actually changed my physiology. I think it has something to do with the hormones ghrelin and leptin. I'm not sure. I don't care. It just works. One of the major benefits of running for me has been a reduction in anxiety, aggression, and depression. Again, that's a case where running actually changes your physiology. It actually changes your chemistry, changes your hormones, and elevates your mood. There's a lot of research on that. I'm not going to get into it right now. Right now, I'm just speaking from my personal experience that running helped my anxiety and depression. There's another way that I think it helped me though too. Most of us are really up in our heads all the time. We just sort of exist up here. We're not really in our bodies that much. We don't embody ourselves. The thing is, your body has all the answers. It has all the intelligence. When you have anxiety and you're just ruminating about all these what ifs, what if this, what if that, you're thinking a lot of thoughts that aren't rational. When you're really in your body, right thinking and right action usually follows. So for me, running was kind of the beginning of just remembering that I'm a body. I'm not just this collection of thoughts. I talked about this a little bit in another video about anxiety. I'll link it in the cards. And here's a really unexpected thing that happened when I started running. I realized that my problem-solving abilities, my ability to focus, and just my inspiration overall was much, much better. I get the most amazing ideas. I run in the morning, usually between 6 and 7 a.m., and it really gets me focused and sets the tone for the day. So many times when I'm running, I get the answer to a difficult project that I'm working on, or I get this massive inspiration for the day. Some of the most amazing ideas that I've had for projects in the last few years have come while I'm running. So just for this benefit alone, I would never give it up because I'm a creative person. I love problem solving, and running gets my juices flowing. Another benefit of running is that I achieve more overall. When you run, you push yourself out of your comfort zone a little bit. Maybe you run an extra mile, and over time, you run more extra miles, and your endurance and speed increases pretty naturally, but you're also kind of pushing yourself a little bit. You're pushing those limits. And then you have this sense of accomplishment, and you start to push limits in other areas of your life. You feel accomplished, and so you take more risks and you try things. I used to have such a bad attitude about runners. I just thought they were jocks, and I'd kind of mock them and be like, well, aren't you a winner? But then secretly, I kind of wanted to be a winner. I could use a few wins sometimes, when you're in such a shitty mood all the time and you're just not effective because of it. You're thinking, like, I could use a win. And so I started running and I started making these little achievements. And I felt a little bit like a winner. And then I started winning in other areas of my life. Starting a consistent exercise routine is one of the best things that I've done in my life. It has helped me in so many different areas of my life. The effort that I put forth in running is just a drop in the bucket compared to what I have received from running. It is so massively beneficial. So if you decide to take up running or take up exercising, I think you'll be able to find the time. And I think it'll give more back to you than it takes. And I think you'll love it. So what do you think? Are you going to give it a try? Do you already have a consistent exercise routine, or do you want to put one into place? Let me know in the comments. And if you have any questions about how to get started, maybe I can help you out with some resources. Or maybe someone else in the comments section will have some helpful advice to offer. So that's all I have for you today. I am wishing you all the beautiful miles.